Ellie, and today I'm going to be talking about the dreaded DCP rejection. So if you're watching this video, it probably means that you have applied and have already been NLIC'd, or you're going to apply, or you're through the application process and you're afraid of being NLIC'd. NLIC means you're no longer in consideration, so the college program is no longer looking at your application for potential hire. I know what that feels like. Don't feel bad if you're here, if you've been NLIC'd. I have applied to the Disney College program 2 times, and the first time I applied, I didn't even make it to the web-based interview. I had applied, and then I sat and applied for 3 months before I got the NLIC email, and it's hard. It's very difficult because I'm sure if you applied, it's because this is something that you really want to do and you really have a passion for Disney, and it can be really discouraging to apply and then not even be offered a web-based interview. And I'm sure it's even more discouraging if you make it all the way to the phone interview and then are NLIC'd. So I'm just going to give you a couple tips on how I survived my DCP rejection and how to maybe adjust your application to get in the future. So my first bit of advice is that after you're NLIC'd, you might want to stay away from social media for a little while. I'm a part of the fall 2018 DCP page on Facebook, and I have seen people who have been NLIC'd post some pretty negative things about other people that they don't think deserve to be accepted. There's a whole issue where people who have been NLIC'd are upset that alumni can come back and get accepted again because they feel like they're taking spots away from people who haven't been able to do this program yet. And wherever you stand on that issue, my advice is to stay off of it. Don't get involved. Don't post anything negative like that on the pages for a couple of reasons. First of all, it makes you look bad for everyone else that's on that page who you could potentially be working with someday, and even if you don't, it looks very negative. And also, there are recruiters that look at that page, so sometimes there will be recruiters in the Facebook page and they can see what you post, and so if you're planning on applying again, they're gonna remember how you acted when you were NLIC'd. So I know that in the moment, and you're upset and you're devastated, I know I've been there, you might want to go and vent on social media. Please don't. It will look bad on you. What you can do is, say you applied for fall 2018 and you didn't make it, you can leave the fall 2018 page and join the spring 2019 page to start talking to people who maybe didn't get accepted or didn't apply this program and are going to be in the next program. So just leave, go to the new page and start fresh there and get ready for the next acceptance wave rather than try to start fights on the fall page. My next bit of advice would be to stay away from DCP related everything, like YouTube. Here's why. I was like you when I was rejected my first time applying. I came onto YouTube here and looked for ways that people coped, the ways that people made it through their rejection. And what happened was I got sucked into the rabbit hole that is DCP YouTube videos. And before I knew it, I was on vlogs, I was on what to pack, and it was honestly devastating. It made me feel so much worse that I was watching these videos of everybody talking about the Disney College program knowing I was not going. And it's a little heartbreaking, and I would suggest staying away from these types of videos until you have gone through the grieving process and you feel better, because it's discouraging. It's discouraging to see people going through this program that you wanted to be a part of so bad and knowing you're not going to be a part of it just yet. So I would say after this video, you should stay away from DCP related things for a little while until you start to feel a little less upset over this. My next bit of advice has to do with your actual application. So between my first application and my second application, a lot had changed in my life. I had changed colleges, I had changed majors, I had gotten a job, and I had added a lot of experience to my application, which I think was the reason that I was pulled through to a web-based interview the second time versus the first time where I sat and applied forever. I think the biggest thing that helped my application was that I got a job. I had a real job before I had just had babysitting experience, but I think that helped because, like I said, applying for the DCP is like applying for a real job. So it's nice to have some experience under your belt where they know that you are getting paid to do something else, so you know how that works. So that was, I think, was a big thing, was that I had gotten a real job since the first time that I applied. Another thing was that I had added a lot of experience, things that I didn't mention the first time that I applied, like I have experience doing makeup for theater. I volunteer at the high school and middle school in my area and do hair and makeup for their productions, and I got accepted for Bippity Boppity Boutique, so I think that makes a huge difference that I have experience doing that. I also, my job is at a daycare, so I have a lot of experience with children, and I think that really helped me out. So I would say go back through, if you can remember anything that you've done. Like I said, mine was volunteer, it wasn't even pay for the theater makeup, and I received Bippity Boppity Boutique, so I would say add as much as you can to that little blurb for like past experience. And then also at the bottom of the application there's like a write something you want us to know, like I think it's just like extra things that you want to write down. Write anything you can remember that you think will help you out. Any sort of volunteer experience, any sort of leadership experience, anything, any sort of like guest relation type experience. If you have a job, write it down. Because I think when they're scanning through, they're looking for things that are gonna make you stand out, things that are gonna make you fit the Disney, I don't know, persona. So I would go back through and add all that stuff. And so I think the best thing for you to do after being NLIC'd is to go back through your application and try to beef it up a little bit. And so there's plenty of YouTube videos about how to beef up your resume. You can look at those, or just have a friend look at it. I have business major friends who are currently working on all their resumes, and they've been more than willing to look over my DCP application and help me, you know, say, oh, you should word this way versus that way. So just beef it up. And then my last bit of advice would be to not give up. Don't give up because you didn't get accepted this time. Because if this is something that's really important to you, this is something you really want to do, don't quit. Don't quit. I did not quit, and here I am leaving in less than 2 months to start my Disney college program. Don't quit. Just, like I said, beef up your resume and just keep trying until you get accepted, and be open to different programs, different roles, and if this is something you really want to do, put yourself out there and keep trying. I know it's hard when you're rejected to keep putting yourself out there, but you can do it. I know you can. I have faith in you. Believe me, I have faith in you. So just keep applying, keep at it, and maybe you'll get there. So I hope this helped you. If you've been NLIC'd already, I'm sorry. I really am. I've been there. I know what it's like. But you're gonna be okay. And you might even end up there sometime in the future. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope to see you there sometime. Bye, guys.